Welcome back to our program, We Connect. We're going right back to that discussion that I'm having here with Padma Shri Astad Debu. Thank you for not going anywhere. It's rooted to that seat. Now, you've performed so much overseas, and you're frequently around the world. Is there enough time in Astad Debu's calendar to actually fit in all of these things?
Yes, one has learned to sort of do time management and planning.
Probably an art that you've mastered.
No, learned on the job, as they say.
Now, Astad, when you're dealing with your dancers, tell me, how easy is it to actually teach people who are in some ways different from the way we are?
Right. Well, I've looked at it not as different. I again look at them as us, normal people. And yes, it takes a little time. It takes to be patient. And when I started working first with the deaf, again, I had to learn on the job because I was not a trained teacher and a creator. And again, when I offered to work, I just offered as a workshop, not realizing that they would come in as time would go on, such a major part of my creativity in the area of the deaf. And so again, this also gave me an opportunity to work at Gallaudet University, which is the world's largest university for the deaf. And I had a good run with them till the time when the federal government decided to have cuts. And the first thing to go was the Performing Arts Department. So hence my sort of going to Gallaudet to be involved with the Department of Dance sort of really petered out. But the gentleman who headed the department started his own sort of NGO because he is a sort of a veteran working in the field of education and performing the theatre director, and he started it. So I've gone and done 2 projects with him. So I still continue to go back and forth. And that has also led me to work with the deaf in Hong Kong, and once an opportunity arose to go to be in Mexico. So so there have been moments where the only thing is that one has to be a little patient. But then when I start working with them and as they start getting used to me, then my patience starts wearing out. If they haven't sort of got it after a couple of months, that's sort of when sort of again my sort of fins go up. Right. And sort of they can sense that, when he's not being happy. But again, each group is sort of different to work with.
Now, Debu, you're also working now in South America. So I'd like to draw you out and ask you to explain what it is you're actually doing there, Astad.
Well, I mean, I've been going to perform in South America for a number of years. And during one of my trips, I came across a fellow choreographer, Ivaldo Bertalo, in Sao Paulo, who works with the street children. And I've sent him a proposal to say that why don't we do a cross-culture connect between some of his dancers and some of my kids. And so we're still in sort of the negotiating stage, because everything requires funding, and Brazil is not just around the corner. Yeah. So let's hope that sometime next year, because this year my calendar is full, and so looking at the second half of next year.
Right. Money is apparently something of a problem in the performing arts. Now, whilst you yourself have achieved recognition merely in the form of your Padma Shri, I mean, it's the highest civilian honor that one can actually get. Do you believe that it's kept pace with the sort of, acceptance of your dance form, this contemporary, performance that you keep delivering all the time?
No, that, awards mean nothing in the sense of trying to get funds. Yes, it has been a cross which I have to carry, because still it's very, very sad that even today, after, this is my 44th year as a professional, okay, let's say even 30 years of being, sort of starting the work in India, and funding is not at all easy, and it's very sad that I have a foundation, which sort of would enable the corporates to get their tax deduction, or well-heeled people to sort of contribute. Well, I do know that a lot of people have their own projects, but as regards to the performing arts, whether, okay, even as I said, okay, fine, you're not interested in the kind of work I do as an individual in my creativity under the umbrella of contemporary dance, but my working with the deaf or my working with the street children, would you come forward to support? I mean, again, when you get these so-called social corporate responsibilities, it's always for a year. There's no consistency or no commitment to say anything you have to learn to start developing and nurturing. It takes at least a minimum of 3 years before, like even when you plant a seed, the seed doesn't sprout immediately.
Sure.
It takes time. But no, it's very cut and dry. And today, especially the youngsters are really, they are just looking at figures. They're so insensitive. They have no idea sometimes as to who, not that I go with an attitude to say, look, it's me who's come and blah, blah, blah.
Absolutely not, no.
But it's just, they have no they don't know how to talk.
Is it just the times that we live in, Astad, where is the bottom line that matters? Would you say that is the reason?
It is, unfortunately, that it is, It's the bottom line.
Right.
And yeah, so it just makes it so, like when people come looking up at me and say, well, you've been able to get this much done, so maybe I'm looking into this, starting a profession, and I try to discourage them. I don't encourage them, or I put the cards on the table and I said, first of all, you've got to have determination, you've got to persevere, you've got to be ready for all the brickbats, because even today, I have to go and knock it, and nothing comes and falls into my lap. Okay, the doors may a little open up because of
your name and who you are. Yes.
But that doesn't mean that after the meeting I've had, I'm going to come out smiling, the kind of conversations I've had, or the kind of comments the person sitting across me who thinks he has the power because he's sitting on that chair. And as I always say, kissa kursi ka,
Yeah.
And so it's not. So it's not easy.
Right.
Yeah.
Astad,
But one has to go on because that's what I'm destined, and that's what my passion is.
right.
And
Astad, I'm going to ask you once again not to go anywhere,
Right.
but when we come back, I'm going to talk to you about this very passion, where it began and where you see it heading, of course, and is there ever an end to it? Well, we take a very short break once again here on WeConnect, and we'll be right back with you.